Story, story, story come. Except that this time it's just not a mere story. These are people's experiences that bring us into a space that sometimes we have foreseen, other times we have no idea about. Having wandered, in our own wilderness for, let's say, 7 years. That is the story of our next guest who found herself in a space of 7 years, going about not knowing what to do, then found herself in this beautiful space where she is thriving and helping others thrive as she is doing. This is the Wiser Embrace Show, and I'm your host, Njeri. Well, if you're new here, welcome very much. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Tell us you subscribed so we can say thank you and karibu sana. And now over to our guest today. Her name is Peris, but I'll give her the honor, the privilege to introduce herself officially. Welcome, Peris.
Thank you very much, Njeri. I'm happy to be here.
Welcome.
Yeah, it's not every day you're called to share your story somewhere.
Yeah.
So my name is Peris Wambugu.
Yes.
As I was saying, I have lived in the diaspora, Ungatarungai,
Yes.
from when I was very little, I think 2 years old.
Wow.
So, and I still live there right now.
Uh-huh.
So I was born into a family of 2 girls.
Okay.
So it's just me and my sister, mother and father.
Oh.
So 4 of us and we are complete.
Wow.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And the 2 of us are not so far apart.
Okay.
So it's 1 year, 9 month difference. So we grew up more like
Twins.
you
Yeah.
could say. Yeah. So growing up for me was really pretty carefree.
Okay.
An environment which has trees, you could climb.
Uh-huh.
You could play in the mud, you could do everything. And my mom was very categorical on play.
Okay.
She knew play is important.
Okay.
So she allowed us to play, she allowed us to become.
Okay.
In fact, she once, I think she fired a help who said, na leo Wangare, that's my middle name,
Okay.
ni msafi, nilimfungia hakucheza.
Wow.
So for her, no,
Yeah.
kids are supposed to play.
Wow.
So you cannot, now the clothes are not so dirty to wash.
Okay.
So the child, I did not allow her to play and that kind of thing. So she really knew a lot about parenting.
Okay.
And that is what she imparted in us through and through. Through and through.
Okay.
So my mom was an agricultural officer.
Okay.
Then they used to wear some uniform.
Uh-huh.
And then my dad was a teacher.
Okay.
And though later on they changed, they didn't stay so long in
In their careers.
So they changed. At some point, my dad joined his brother who was having a video something plus a DJ. So they actually became DJs.
Oh, your dad?
Yes, at that age. And it was really fun because, there would be all these parties and all this music and all these things growing up. So
did you used to attend his events, or was the music brought home? Or?
Not his events.
Okay.
But whenever there was a family function, and they had so many, because their family, there were 13 children.
Wow.
So their family always had this thing or
Ongoing
the other or the other.
functions.
Yes, ongoing, especially April holidays, August, December. It was always like party after party. So
Yeah.
there was always functions and music and all those, that kind of growing up.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think it was not really restricted, strict. It would have some adults who would drink and then would go and koinereria, as in whatever was left. So you want to try it out. And that was just it.
That was
just it. So yes, that was how growing up was. Then let's see. I first faced discrimination when I was 5 years old.
Okay, what sort of discrimination is this?
I was in a school in the middle of town.
Okay.
It was called CGHU,
Okay.
Kachi Gujarat Hindu Union. At that time, we were only 2 Africans in class.
Okay.
Me and a girl called Jackie.
Okay.
The teacher herself was a very beautiful young Hindu lady.
Yeah.
Then all other boys and girls were Hindu.
Yeah.
So it was small Hindu boys and girls, and then us two, me and Jacqueline.
Yeah, okay.
Now one day the teacher did not show up,
Uh-huh.
and so she was sick. So the person who came to teach us was the one who used to make for the teacher's lunch.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was a young African man.
Okay.
Okay, the cook. So he came and told us, today your teacher is not there, so today I'm going to be teaching you, you know, blah, blah, blah. So he started. So he was like, who will spell the word? So he told us to spell the word from January, February, all the months of the year.
Okay.
So January, of course, me, I was a very active child. I
Yeah.
had been taught not to fear
Yeah,
anybody or
yeah.
anything.
Yep.
So always my hand was
always
up.
up.
So January, okay, he picked a Hindu, spelled the word, went on well. February, my hand was up. So somehow, he wasn't picking me.
Okay.
He was picking the Hindus.
Okay.
And then they couldn't spell properly. Pick another Hindu. My hand is still up and I'm with that one of teacher, teacher, teacher.
Yeah.
You know that one? Pick another Hindu, pick another, until they all couldn't spell the word February.
Yeah.
And then now there was no other option.
Yeah.
So he was like, you.
Wow.
And by then he had promised that the one who would spell would get a plate of chips for lunch.
Okay.
Then my mom used to come for me for lunch.
Okay.
So I knew when my mom comes,
Today, no, today I'm all fed.
I'm all
chips.
set. So, and I really, so that
He
thing
insisted,
motivated,
yeah.
kind of motivated
Yeah.
me. So anyway, I spelled the word February correctly, and he honored his part.
Okay.
But later on, coming to think of it,
Yeah.
why, in his own mind,
Why he would overlook you?
he would overlook my hand.
Probably you are short.
We were all almost about the same size, and each of us had our own desk.
Yeah.
So it really made me feel, maybe he thought, or the way his mind was, this black person is just like me, might end up just like me, or I don't know how he
Like we are
preferred,
not up to.
like, yes, we are not up to the, you know, he preferred the Hindus, all of them, until they were all, you know.
Yeah.
But that's, I came to think about it much later
Okay, okay.
on that incident.
Okay.
And because it kept disturbing me, why didn't it? Because I can remember it clearly, even right now as I
Wow.
speak.
Wow.
I see my hand.
That
I see
must
how
have
the
gone very
class
deep into your mind.
is set.
Yeah.
I'm really struggling
Yeah.
I know how to spell the word February, right?
Yes.
Because I could read and write pretty well at an early age.
Yeah.
So it really, you know, later I came to think of it, there was something wrong with his mindset, or something that he thought, you know, that this ones are maybe much lower or much higher, that like we are not all the same.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the first thing. Then later on, growing up in Rongai, we have an issue of fluoride in water.
Okay.
So your teeth, back then, there was no bottled water,
Yeah.
there was no alternative.
Okay.
That so your teeth are going to brown
yeah,
naturally.
yes.
If you remove the milk ones, the permanent ones
Yeah,
are
they're
just
going to
going
discolor.
to discolor.
Yeah.
And some of them discolor really bad.
Yeah.
So I remember trying all the remedies we would read in the books. Try charcoal. It's not
Nothing
working.
seemed to improve the situation.
Bicarbonate of soda, it's not working. Only to realize that the fluoride thing was right inside,
Yeah.
because it affects even the bones
Their
and
system.
the whole system.
Yeah.
So there's some in school we weren't really you know, bothered by other
Yeah,
children.
yeah.
But when you go to other places where guys don't have those
Yeah.
sort of
Yeah.
problems, they ask, what happened to your teeth? Is it, I don't know, you have eaten potatoes? Others had funny
idea
things.
potatoes discolor our teeth.
Imagine. So guys had funny myths surrounding
Yeah.
the teeth issue.
Yeah.
And there's a place we went I think in Nyahururu for something, a barrier or something.
Yeah.
Then some kids, they were high schooling kids,
Yeah.
and us guys were still in primary, and they were like, "You guys, your teeth are zinc coated." You know, zinc coated. Okay, I was a reader, so I had an idea. Zinc is a metal.
Yeah.
And but I really thank God because we were able to, just the way we were brought up,
Yeah.
we didn't really sink, or I did not sink because of that kind of teeth issue.
Yeah.
And I was able to express myself.
Okay.
In school, I was able to do poetry. I was able to talk in front of people.
Yeah.
I was able to do anything that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I was able to do it.
Yeah.
But later in life, I realized there are people who feel really small,
Yeah.
cannot, you know, talk to people. They want to hide their teeth. They want to do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So again, so it really helped me to know the why was I kind of cushioned against that low esteem because of the teeth.
Okay. Okay.
The parenting.
Yeah.
We were taught to be ourselves from
Wow.
a long time ago, to
Yeah.
appreciate who we were
Yeah.
and just to be
Yeah.
and to live.
Yeah.
You know,
Was this
So-
from both mom and dad, or majorly from your mom?
both my parents. Considering they
Would you
also
think,
took us.
It's because maybe they were exposed, like they were both educated, or what would you ascribe this to?
First of all,
Yeah.
my mom herself was exposed,
Yeah.
and her upbringing was different
Okay.
from most
Most
moms.
happy years. Yeah.
From where that get shaggy type of, you know, upbringing.
Yes.
That
Yes. Yes.
she was picked from their home when she was pretty small and taken into a children's home in Parklands.
Okay.
So where they were taken care of by Hindu people.
Okay.
Of course, the workers were Kamba.
Okay.
But the environment there was very loving. It was
Yes.
it was not your typical African home
Okay.
kind of thing. So even us, we did not grow in those things that your typical African mother told you, break all of them.
Yes.
My mom was not like that because
Okay.
she missed that.
Okay.
She didn't grow in that.
Yeah.
In that environment.
Okay.
So she grew up very, very different.
Okay.
And their children's home was in Parklands.
Okay. Okay.
And
okay.
holidays, they didn't even go back home.
Okay.
So they used to move in from one Aryan community in Kisumu. They're in Nairobi this holiday, they go to Kisumu. The next holiday, they go to another Aryan
They're
community in
different,
Mombasa,
yeah.
like that. So they never really interacted at that young age with, you know, that African home,
okay.
African mother environment. So
Yeah.
again, she did not impart that to
Okay.
us.
Okay. Okay. I see.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
my dad, on the other hand, was from Gishagi, but I think he really never had. He was flowing, you know,
Yeah.
and also he was a very present
Wow.
and available dad.
Okay.
Present, not proximity, not
Yeah.
a dad who comes home every day
Yes.
but has no relationship
Yes.
with you.
Yes.
Dad had a relationship with us
Wow.
from the word go,
Go. Okay.
from just when you were born.
Uh-huh.
Because me, I found a book, 48 pages squared book that was written my name, the time I was born,
Wow.
the day I was born, and everything, because I was born when my mom was in transit.
Okay.
So, and everything that they had to buy for me was listed
all
in that
listed
book.
down.
Baby show, everything
Yeah.
was all, and that book was so dear to me because,
Wow.
and it was written by my dad.
Wow. Wow.
So it was like, wow, this is how much I mean to them.
Wow.
You feel
It's
treasured,
beautiful.
you feel valued.
Yeah.
Even as you grow up, you find a book. What? Even the exact time that you were born,
Yeah.
and it is your dad who wrote it.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, like during the time my dad was a primary school teacher, so when I left this CGHU school, they told me I was too small to go to their primary school.
Oh, okay.
Because that was in pre-units
Oh.
when I was trying to spell the word February.
wow.
So I was too small, I was too short. Ujafikisha, we know those things of age. I don't know what not. So anyway, I had to go now. I had to
go to a
go to my
different school?
dad's public school,
Okay.
where he was a head teacher.
Okay.
So he chose to me, you know, the teachers wa kitambo walikuwa wanashona kwa class, sijui nini. So he looked at a class where at least the teacher was a little bit more serious,
Yeah.
and I went in there.
Okay.
But now when I went in there, I noticed these children don't go with shoes. And me, I have butter prefect shoes and socks.
Yeah.
So I went home, I told my mom, "Hey mom, those kids don't have shoes.
Yeah.
Me, I won't be going with shoes."
Okay.
My mom was like, "Okay."
You want to fit in?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I started going without shoes.
Okay.
Then we would come for lunch. We would go home for lunch with my dad, and my dad would fix a very fast meal, and then we would eat and then walk back to school.
Okay.
Then I noticed these kids, they usually carry a bowl,
Yeah,
and
their
there are
lunch
women who
boxes.
come to eat, to cook getheri in
okay.
school. And so by the time as we are leaving, they are busy
Queuing for
queuing
lunch.
for the food.
Yeah.
So I told my mom, "No, now please, me, pack for me a bowl. I'll be going with it to school for lunch. I won't be coming with dad." Was like, "Okay, you want to eat school lunch? It's okay."
Yeah.
So she put for me a plate and a spoon.
Wow.
So I went the first day with my spoon and my plate, and it's getheri, which is more maize than more beans. So I ate it, and with a lot of soup or water, you know, that getheri kind of thing. So I ate it with my spoon, and guys don't have spoons. Why do I have a spoon? So I went to my mom, I don't need a spoon.
Okay.
So, and that's how it was.
Okay.
Then at some point my dad realized my education was not going on. I had started forgetting how I was stammering, and I was not stammering before as I read.
Okay.
And so he just changed schools and took me now to another private school, and there I was there up to class 8.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in this private school,
Yeah.
we had kids who were from rich families.
Yeah.
Guys would carry a whole chicken for lunch. I don't know, pilau. You have your ugali, you have your whatever. But one thing is that we were made to feel we all belong.
Yeah.
And there is no discrepancy.
Yeah. Okay.
There is no, that
Yeah.
discrimination.
Yeah.
Even I also want to thank our headmaster, Mr. Okumu then, because he told us, I don't want to see anyone carrying bread and soda for lunch. That's not lunch. Carry your food.
Yeah.
Even if it's ugali, and everyone eats in class. So that was another thing. So from school, there was a lot of support, even just for everyone. Okay. So it really helped to ground all of us.
Yeah.
So there was no one feeling we are too small. We are not. Others are rich. Yes. You go for a trip, guys buy pizza. You don't even know what pizza is.
Yeah.
They're just eating behind the bus, and you're like, hey, okay, you know. So such things they never really bothered us.
Okay.
And I think my mom told us all of us cannot be equal, and so we have to accept that, and not also, but tusijifungie mlango. You can always get to where you want to be, but let that not diminish you or make you feel small. Okay. So there we are, just growing up. So at class 8, I did my exam. I passed very well. I had 559 marks.
Wow!
But you are in
out
Kajiado.
Of 700.
Out of those days.
Yes.
You're in Kajiado, and those days of a lot of political things. So I didn't get a good school.
Okay.
So now my parents had to work up and down, and it was good because the director of the school where I worked used to take used to go with my mom every morning to go look for schools.
Okay.
Meet me at the stage, they drive, they go look for schools wherever. So in the long run, they found the Narumuru girls.
Okay.
So that's where I was.
Okay.
So even though I schooled in Kajiado, I went to school in Nyeri.
I know, that's like 2 worlds apart.
2 worlds apart, yes.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a national. It wasn't a national school then.
It was a district school.
It was a provincial school.
Sorry.
Yeah. So majorly they would have just gotten kids from their province.
Yeah.
But now I got a chance there, and I really thank God for that opportunity. And it was also my first boarding school opportunity.
Oh, okay.
There's a time my cousins, almost all of them whom we are age mates, went to boarding schools.
Yeah.
Saint Teresa, Saint what. So we're like, Mom, we want to go to boarding. My mom was like, no, I am not taking any of my child to boarding school. At that age. You are at an age where I'm supposed to take care of you, to grow you, to nurture you, to see how you day by day, what is happening in your lives. You know? And then for us it did not make sense, but now it really makes sense. So she was like, you go to boarding when you know yourself. I have taught you, I have grounded you. So at that point you are able to make your own decisions. You are able to say no
Yeah.
to, you know, if any peer pressure and all that, you're able to really
Yeah.
gauge yourself,
Understand
and
yourself.
understand why you are doing what you are
Yeah,
doing.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And really that it helped a lot all through
Yeah.
to the university.
Varsity,
That kind
okay.
of grounding that
Okay.
that she gave us.
Yeah.
Okay. So so we went to Narumoru Girls. It was a pretty good school.
Okay.
We were readers, so I found myself every evening going to the library, soaking in books, just reading about other things, not necessarily geography,
Yeah.
chem or bio,
Yeah.
just other areas,
Yeah.
you know. And so at that time, there's a time we had gone through a hard time. Let me go back a bit. In class 6, things began to maybe change at home. The job I think my dad was doing, he changed it. He stopped DJing because he became born again. I think it was at that time.
Yeah.
Together with my mom, they had raised us as Catholics
Okay.
from, you know, from birth
Up until the point they
up
get born
until
again.
that time. So of course he could not do, I think, the DJ anymore and those other things. It was a lot of bashing life, you know, party after party. He could not do that anymore. So now he had to change and all that. And at that point, I think he got very sick and he got a mental issue.
Wow.
So every other day,
That is now from
No.
all this transition now, and now he becomes mentally sick.
yes. So I really don't know the factors that could have led him to reach to that point.
Okay.
But I saw the changes that were happening, especially financially and all
Oh,
that.
okay.
That's what we thought
Okay.
at that time.
Yeah.
So he would just started burning stuff
Okay.
from his bedroom, burning. Day
Okay.
1, day 2, the same thing. He's not
Okay.
talking to us. Day 3, the same thing. Then now, my mom now wanted now him to, he was telling him to go to Apeleke Hospitali.
Yeah.
But then he was saying him, he's not sick, he's
Yeah.
okay. Those
Yeah.
guys tend to think, I'm not sick,
Yeah.
I'm very
Like
normal.
you guys are the ones who are seeing
Yes.
and understanding all this very wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
So my mom had to send us together with the house help to a shop very far away, so that now she calls for reinforcements to come and hold
Yeah,
him by force. And so she called the brother. So by the time we had gone, we met so many, coming back home, we met so many people in the compound,
Yeah.
and they're trying to
No. Get hold of that.
cure my dad. And he's running away, I think, but then they caught him, they bound him, even. Then they got him to hospital.
Okay.
So, but after that time he went and he was in Avenue.
So did you witness him being, bound and all that?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
How did that affect you? What did that mean to you? Or did it mean anything? Or
We just saw it, we were like, okay, first, we got relieved because finally
okay.
he will go to hospital.
Yes.
And then my mom had also called a doctor who used to be just doctor around, a neighbor doctor.
Okay.
And I think she injected him so that
Yeah.
he can calm down.
Yeah.
And so apart from being a relief, it was very scary.
Yes.
Because dad is there, he's shouting, I'm not sick,
Yeah.
with a very loud voice.
Yeah.
Where are you people taking me?
Yeah.
There was a lot of struggle.
Yeah.
And the compound was full of people.
Yeah.
And all of them are saying, that headmaster, just people are talking and talking. So it really, it kind of brought us
Yeah.
very down.
This is a space you've not been before.
We've not been before.
Yeah.
And now the questions, will dad get well? And we
Yeah.
loved our dad
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. But okay, we knew now he was taken to hospital. And that time my mom also didn't have a lot of money. But then after a few days, there's a neighbor who came and said, hey, your daughters need to go and see their dad in hospital. So she came and she was like, she told my mom, hey, here is fair.
Yeah.
Make sure
They
have
go visit.
Yes, and we all went. So we went, we saw him that time, he was heavily sedated.
Okay.
But after some time, he was like, hey dad. So he was not saying a lot.
Yeah.
But after some few days, he got well.
Okay.
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 So all through, up to last month when I got sick is when my dad actually told us he had been, we thought it was depression.
Yeah.
It's when he said, that time it was Dr. Ndete, he was a psychiatrist, a very highly placed psychiatrist. He told him he had schizophrenia.
Wow.
And that is, it's really, most of the times it doesn't even get treated.
Yes.
And he was supposed to get to be on meds the whole of his life and that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
But he was able to overcome that. Okay. So, so that was our first, there had been, I think, 2 other instances where my dad had the same thing, but it wasn't that severe. We didn't even notice
Yeah.
it. So the one now we noticed was this one
Yeah,
that
okay.
happened when I was in class 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's when I noticed, hey, and as we thought, oh, my dad had depression
Yeah.
all through along,
Oh,
all
okay,
through along,
okay.
until now he came and told me when I was in hospital
Yeah.
that he was told he had schizophrenia,
Okay.
and that's really
Yeah.
it's more serious.
Yeah.
The way I think,
Yeah.
it's more serious. So, and I think from there, I don't know whether I got an interest in mental issues or
Yes. Yes, because at the point where we interacted,
Yes.
you are so vocal. Not just then, even now. You
Yeah.
are so vocal on, mental wellness, mindset,
wellness, yes.
parenting. Yes,
exactly.
yes.
So, with that now, my dad went on and he became very well, and he's super.
Okay.
Even today,
Wow.
he goes on well.
Wow.
That incident has not been repeated again.
Wow.
And of course, we are praying it,
Wow.
it keeps
Wow.
that.
Congratulations.
Okay,
Really
yeah.
Great for you.
So, so now there I am. So that's the part of primary school. Okay, when I say my dad was present and available, I think I did not explain that much. Dad would sing songs and he would tape us on the old radio, the one that had tapes of going,
Rolling with the Bible.
Yes, rolling with a biro. He would say your age, the year, and what you're doing. If
Yeah.
you're reciting a poem, if you're reading a book,
Yeah.
we would read.
Describe what it is that you're doing.
Yes, what you're doing. We would read newspapers. I remember reading even newspaper headlines when I was 5.
Okay.
Even once with the Amido Sewing Center, I can remember reading such a script even at that time. You get, eh?
Yeah.
So my dad would really involve us.
Yeah.
Whenever he was doing anything, even if it's slaughtering a chicken,
Yes.
would slaughter together. He'd tell us the parts, the names in Kikuyu, the names in English,
yeah.
what he's doing. He would tell us stories.
Okay.
Those in Kikuyu.
Yeah.
He would tell us stories in Kikuyu. And then at that time, he was also teaching my mom and us some words of Kikuyu, because you've seen my mom was not brought up in
Ushago.
Yes. So there are some things also she was also learning
Okay.
alongside us.
Okay.
Okay. So at the same time, my dad was very open. Like when we were pretty small, I think 11 years, he went and got out all his files and told us, I know you are small, but I know you understand. Let me tell you the property that I have. So we are seated, all of us, mom, dad, and my sis and I, and how I acquired it. So he would tell us, this title is for this place. This land where we're sitting on, we acquired it like this. This one is in that place, and the title is still being processed. And that was just the beginning. That was the first time my dad opened to us.
Yeah.
This is what I have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I came later to realize most African dads will not do that to children.
Yes.
So as long as you are an age of understanding, there's some things you open us up to your children early enough.
Yep.
And not because my dad was dying or anything. He's still alive to date.
Yeah.
So he just, shared his life, poured his life to us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So another thing they did was books.
Okay.
There was books all over in the house. My mom loved the Ladybird books. That's what she would buy. Okay. She also loved the True Love magazines. They're long time ago ones, and they used to hide them, but I used to get them and read them. True Love, Drum. There was another, and Parents magazine. So I would read them and return them.
Okay.
And of course, those magazines had a lot of issues about life, about relationships, a lot of, gossip on celebrities of the day, and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's when I learned so much about life and relationships,
Okay.
even when I was very young.
Yeah.
Just from just from reading.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
So I used to say I could even advise somebody at that age. Just from what I've read,
Yeah.
because they used to have columns, anti-tabby.
Yes.
It's like those help tabby.
Yeah, yeah.
I have this dilemma issues, then anti-tabby answers
Yes.
and says, gives her take. So I would read those, I don't know, anti-tabby, anti-who, from all these magazines had
Yes.
their anti-tabbies, kind of thing. So that was it. So my dad would take us out many times.
Okay.
And would just go talking about everything under the sun.
Life.
We were free
Yeah.
to express ourselves
Wow.
in our home.
Yeah.
We were free to ask questions. And when my parents did wrong, they could ask for forgiveness.
Wow.
I once wrote a letter and put it in my dad's bedside,
Yeah.
where I could see. Then my dad read it and then he called me and told me, Wagare, I have seen your letter and I've read it. And I've seen there is a place I wronged you. So, and he actually apologized and asked that I forgive him. And he told me, next time, you don't have to write a letter, just come and tell me.
Wow. Well, I attempted that with my mother. I
Yeah.
never did again. At this point, we'll take a break, after which we'll come back with more of Peris's story and her experiences and how these experiences have contributed to what she is doing today. So don't you go too far, because we'll be back just like that. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, we are done with the first half of Peris' story, and she's taken us through a very unique journey of her own, upbringing, which I would almost confidently say that not most of us enjoyed that kind of upbringing, but she did enjoy quite a unique upbringing. So, Peris, we've already gone to high school. You graduate from high school.
Yes. So I graduated from high school and went to university.
Okay.
I really wanted to be a doctor,
Okay.
but I missed it by only 3 points.
Like a medical doctor?
Yes, a medical doctor.
Okay.
So I missed the cutoff by 3 points.
Okay.
And so the next course that I would do was biomedical science,
Okay.
and that is what I chose.
Okay.
And that is what I got called for.
Okay.
So I went and did the course. When I did the course, I completed it in 2005.
Okay.
We are those ones.
Yes.
Now, after graduating, so what next? Obviously, you look for a job.
Yes.
So I started looking for a job, tamaking like this, and I could get maybe one job somewhere. The closest I got was a med rep that I did just for a little while.
Okay.
And then now I got off. So I had to now look for other jobs.
Okay.
At the same time, there's a lot of support coming from home.
Okay.
No one is chasing you, everyone is looking out for you.
Yep.
So I tried many things.
Okay.
I tried selling stuff.
Okay.
I tried hawking things.
Okay.
I tried doing everything. I have sold even chips, those ones on the roadside outside our gate.
Welcome to the story of the Kenyan graduates. Yeah.
So, you just, we can cook some chips and firewood and what, and cook it.
Yep.
And so then I thought, okay, I could teach.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I started applying for teaching jobs.
Okay.
And I got teaching jobs.
Okay.
And they were, though I was not a trained teacher,
Yeah.
but I got teaching jobs and I taught biology and chem.
Okay.
But still, those were not the jobs that I had really...
Yeah, that's not where your heart wanted
That's
to be.
not where my heart wanted to
Yeah.
be. At the same time, in my interactions with people, whenever I meet people,
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to talk to them.
Yes.
So I talk to them. When I meet school girls, I talk to them. I encourage them. What
Yeah.
do you want to be?
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we talk, and we talk openly. So, and then when I went on to teaching, I also now interacted with students more,
Yeah.
and became more of a mentor, more of a, because children had diverse backgrounds and that
Yes.
kind of thing.
Yep.
So I found myself, they found me easy to talk to,
Yeah.
and I found myself easily talking to them
Okay.
over issues that they normally don't talk
About.
with their parents or people who have no, or people who can come to their level
Okay.
and just understand
Yeah.
from where they're coming from.
Yep.
Okay, so at that point, so I was just there as a teacher
Okay.
at some point,
Yeah.
and at the same time, I'm still looking for
Your field jobs.
biomed,
Yep.
work
Yeah.
to do with biomed.
Yeah.
So when I was in one of those schools, the librarian called me. Peris, a book, come to the library very, very fast. I went. And it was the first time she showed me a newspaper that had the word biomed written, as in vacancy.
Yes.
And we were looking for biochem, biomed, whatever like
Yep,
that.
yep.
I had never seen a job that
An
required,
advert, yeah.
or a job advert that required biomed. We were
Okay.
always hanging on to biochem people, molecular bio. So those are the jobs used to apply.
Okay.
There was no job specific for a biomed person.
Okay, okay.
So I applied. I applied for that job, though that time I had a firstborn, and I didn't have a house help, so it was really very hard
Yeah.
coming to apply. So my husband really pushed me and told me, I'll get the child from daycare, you go and apply for that job.
Yeah.
So I went and I applied for the jobs. There were 3 of them which
Okay.
could apply for.
Yeah.
Okay, and then after, after we applied for that job, I even forgot about it.
Yeah.
And we went on teaching.
Okay.
And this school I was teaching, we were teaching like 3 schools in one school. So I would teach the girls' school
Okay.
somewhere near Giraffe Center. And then they would now, at break time or lunch time, depending on the lessons on the boys' school, I would go into the van and they would transport me to the boys' school somewhere near opposite Catholic University. So I would teach the boys there. And then I would also teach the IGCSE class
Okay.
in the same boys'
Okay,
school. So
okay.
I was teaching
Wow.
girls, then I
Boys.
moved to boys KCSE, then I moved to boys IGCSE. So it was very taxing, and we were getting a salary like for just one school.
Wow.
So me and other teachers decided we are going to write a letter to the management and ask them for a raise.
Yes.
So we
You
wrote
are
a
worth
letter.
a raise.
We signed the letter. And that thing really got the director of the school very agitated.
Okay.
So whenever he used to meet us, he used to tell us, you will go, you.com teachers, I will get other examiner teachers and all that. Okay, so we knew there was something he was planning.
Okay.
So immediately he first let out let go 4 teachers,
Okay.
and then we remained 6.
Okay.
Because we had signed the letter,
The 10 of you.
the 10 of us.
Okay.
So the day came now when the 6 of us had
Had to leave.
had to leave.
Yeah.
Okay. So I leave, and by that time I'm pregnant for my second born,
Okay.
like 6 months. So what happens is I get a call from someone whom I've never met today, and he told me I have an interview with the public service on such and such a day. Then I asked him, how did you know? It's in the newspaper. Was I reading a newspaper after I was sacked? No. I was just doing my homely duties, and just resting at
getting on
home.
with
And
life.
resting at home, yes. Though my mom had tried telling me, you apply for a job because you are teaching in a very good school,
Yeah.
you will also get a job. But my mind that time told me, it's your time, just rest at
Yeah,
home.
yeah.
So I was just taking the
break,
break. That's when
yeah.
I got the call.
Okay.
So I asked this guy, how did you get my number? Because when I looked at the newspaper, they hadn't indicated our numbers.
Yeah.
They had just written
Your names.
name and ID number.
Okay.
So he told me he works for Equity, and he punched my ID number among all those names that were there, and that's how he got my
Okay. Your
from
tele-
their portal of Equity Bank.
Okay.
And he told me his interview was the next day. Then mine was mine was 23rd and his was 24th.
Okay.
So he wanted the person who went on 23rd so that they discuss. When he goes on 24th, he'll have an idea of what is being
to
asked,
expect. Yeah.
what to expect. So it's when I wondered, why did he... There were so many people who had their interviews on 23rd.
Yeah.
Why did he? And he was a Kalenjin first. There were other Kalenjin, even men. Why did he? And people who had Equity Bank account. But I learned it was God's way of telling me, you girl, you're sleeping at home, you have an interview to go to.
Yeah.
Now, the events that happened from then on is what made me know God has actually choreographed everything in our lives and to work together for good.
Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, a stranger calls me, informs me of an interview. Without him, I would not have known that there's an interview. Second, when I told my husband told his sister told a friend of hers, and the lady was like, she's an elderly lady, and she had worked in public service before. She was like, I want to coach Peris for the interview. Wow. I was there 30 years ago. Listen, she was there 30 years ago, but she felt she wants to coach me for the interview. Okay. So we arranged, and she told me, this is how you arrange your papers, this is how you answer the questions. You will find three chairs. You will sit on the middle chair when you go to the panel. And this is how you will dress. And I had even had, because now my stomach, looking forward to dress for the interview. But luckily I found something that, I found a suit that I would dress in and all that. So she told me, these are the questions that they might ask. You're going to find a person who asks general questions, and another person who asks specific questions to your course. I can't ask you the specific ones, but the general ones sound like this. What are the benefits of the East African community? So she asked me several questions, and so we were there in the process, interviewing one another, and that was it. And she coached me. And the interview now was on a Sunday, the interview was the next day on a Monday. Do you know when, and then Saitoti had just died, who was our MP. Okay, so when I went on Monday, then my interview was at 10
in the morning,
a.m. in the morning. There were people who would go in at 8, and mine was at 10. I was like, even the Most High knew my condition. He didn't want me to struggle with the jam early in the morning. So I just took my time, prepared myself slowly, nicely, and by 10 I was in time for the interview. So even the interview was planned. I mean, the way everything played out was just... So I went for the interview at 10, and I found exactly what she said. There are 3 chairs. I sit in the middle chair. So, madam, sit in the middle chair, put your handbag on the other chair. When the questions started coming in about East African community, now that Saitoti has died, and just the questions, and I answered them pretty well. But now the specific questions for our course were quite hard. But she had also told me, I don't say I don't know. It sounds rude. Just tell them, thank you for bringing it to my attention. I'm going to read on it. Okay? So whatever I didn't know, I'm going to... There were only 3 questions. And I think for 2 of them, that one, I'm going to read further on that. I'm going to read on it. The other one, at least I attempted to answer. By the time I left that interview, I knew, this interview, I'm not seeing the way I've gotten the job. And that was... After 7 years of hustling, doing this hawking, doing all this manner of things, we even had a daycare. Oh my goodness! And took care of babies, you know. So anyway,
just whatever
hustling, to get by. So I went home. I told my dad, Dad, that interview, kuna venye, there's a way. It was a bit tough. Okay. So and I went home. After several weeks, I think that's when I got an SMS. I was just resting. Congratulations, Peris, you got the job. I didn't. The same guy again, whom I've never met to date. So I asked him, how did you, how did you know? No, he told me it's on the internet. So I told him, okay, I have, let me check. So I checked out and found out. But by at the time we were being sacked, let me go back before, the director told me, Peris, you are a very good teacher, and I'm feeling so much pain to let you go. But I have to let you go because you also signed the letter. And then he asked, who will employ you when you are like this?
Okay. Is pregnancy anything? Anyway. Let's carry
on. At that time, I knew about the power of the mind. And negating the words. So I didn't talk to him. I looked at him straight in the eye, and inside myself, I spoke to him
I know.
with a very firm voice.
Yeah.
I told him, you are not government.
Yes.
Government will employ me today and I give birth tomorrow.
Yes.
And by that time, I had forgotten. I don't know why I mentioned government.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I had forgotten even I had made an application.
Yeah.
You get?
Yep.
But those are the words that came out
Yeah.
of my mind. Immediately he told me,
Yeah.
who will employ you
when
in
you're
this
in your condition.
in this state with a bell? So now I told him those words and I went home. So now these are the events. Now I've been actually called to an interview,
Yeah.
and I've actually gotten the job.
Yep.
I worked the job 3 weeks, and after 3 weeks, I was given permission to go and wait for the baby at home
Wow.
and to start my leave on the day the baby arrives.
Okay.
So that is exactly what happened.
Wow.
And then I thought, now, you can imagine, if I would still have been in that school,
Yeah.
I would have not had a maternity leave,
Nope.
just 1 month.
Yeah.
And if I want to extend it, I'd have to get another teacher of whom I'll give half of my salary.
Wow.
That is how it was. So I was like, the Most High really has good plans
Yeah.
about us.
Yeah.
Okay. So from that point,
Yeah.
there was still that thing in me.
Yeah.
I am an encourager. I like
Yeah.
mentoring.
Yes.
Online, I'm talking to people and
Yes.
just giving what I know for free.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and from my own experience,
Yes, yes,
and
yes.
sharing things from what I've read,
Yeah.
what I know.
Yeah.
And I really now needed to package that
Yes.
into something meaningful.
Yes.
So I used to talk to people whenever we meet, even at work.
Yeah.
My colleagues would tell me, you ought to be somewhere else.
Yeah.
You ought
Like,
to be this.
You're in the wrong environment.
You ought to be this. You
Yeah.
ought to be this.
Yeah.
You get, eh?
Yep.
And so are you a counselor? You talk to somebody asks
Yeah.
you, even if it's in the matatu,
Yeah.
are you a counselor? I'm
yeah.
like, no,
Yeah.
I'm a scientist.
Yeah.
But the way you're talking,
Yeah.
and it's just something of interest.
Okay.
So now I decided to package myself, and then I had to go back to training.
Okay.
So I had to retrain myself. I
Okay.
found a coach who coaches coaches.
Yeah.
And yes, a trainer of coaches. She's
Yeah.
a coach and she's also a trainer of coaches.
Coaches, yeah.
And at least I made the decision
Yeah.
to now turn over
Yep.
to that other side.
Okay.
So that's how I was trained. Then I also went into many other classes
Okay.
to be able now to enhance that knowledge.
Okay.
So I am now here in this space
Yeah.
where I am, yes, still a scientist,
Yes.
and a transformational life coach.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Now, talking about transforming lives, you really encourage, because I've interacted with you on your spaces.
Yeah.
You were always reaching out to people like, do the healing for yourself. Do the healing for yourself. Do you suppose this somehow maybe is also triggered by seeing your own dad's journey, go through it, and come out victorious?
Yeah.
Or what else would you say other than the encouragement? Are there other triggers that have led you into this space?
Yes, yes, there are. Of course, there was my dad's
Episode. Yeah.
And it was really painful, but we also loved it that he got out of it.
Yes.
And he doesn't have to do meds the
Yeah.
whole of his life the
Okay.
way he
He was supposed to
he
have.
was supposed to do.
Yeah.
So he decided that this is not him.
Yeah.
And whatever it was, he would rise
Yeah.
above it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I think in addition to that,
Yeah.
I was also a very good observer of society,
Okay.
observer of the mental space,
Okay.
observer of wellness and what is happening.
Yep.
So even as I observed it from where I was,
Yeah.
I would see it needs a lot of
There's a gap that
overhauling.
needs to-
There's a gap. People need to demystify
Yeah.
mental and wellness issues,
Yep.
and people need to talk about them more freely.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Okay.
Instead of hiding and
Yeah.
and hushed tones.
Okay.
The hushed tones that I found when everyone was filled in our compound,
Okay.
and the that
Yeah.
headmaster, you know, my
Yes.
dad used to be a headmaster,
Yeah.
and it was
Yeah.
the only public school in that area.
Yep.
That headmaster of this school,
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
that kind of thing.
Yep.
So it's just like the way your stomach can have a problem.
Yeah.
Your head can also have a problem. Yeah?
True,
And
true,
it's a normal,
Yeah.
it can happen. It should not be taken like, you don't say, Kai, that a person who has a stomach ache.
I
No,
know.
but when it's a mental issue, it's a big,
It becomes a special
yeah,
condition.
it becomes a very special something.
Okay.
So we need to demystify that.
Yeah. So now let's talk about this. Peris, who has packaged herself. So who do you reach out to, or who reaches out to you?
Okay.
Yeah.
So mostly, I reach out to women.
Okay.
Though even men still reach out to me.
Yeah.
But mostly I reach out to women because I found that most of them have, from their upbringing again,
Yes.
they have a warped image of themselves,
Yes.
a warped, the way society has taught them,
Yes.
and they find themselves into very many issues. They have a warped idea of submission.
Yes.
They have a warped idea of, you can find a woman buying property and writing it in someone else's name.
Yeah.
They don't believe it should be actually
Like
in their name.
their worth.
They are worth it,
Yeah.
you see.
Yeah.
And they even think that the Bible says that, and the Bible does not say that.
Well, I know that part.
You get, the
Yeah.
Bible doesn't say, as a woman, when you buy something, it doesn't say that.
No.
You get. In
Yeah.
fact, the woman who is in the Bible who bought land, it was in her name, it was hers.
Yes.
You know, it's written like that.
Yep.
But we are not taught
Yeah.
that part when we are growing up.
Yes.
So women grow up with a diminished feeling of themselves.
Yeah.
They really don't know themselves, and they want to think that it's a man who can save them.
Yep.
You know, like their ATMs, like having a man is a job,
Yeah.
is like a job.
Yeah.
They don't think that they can do things for themselves and
Yeah.
actually make it.
Yep.
You can see somebody asking a question like in social media, like, have you ever been taken to these big hotels, or you are waiting to, you
Yeah.
know, has your boyfriend or your husband ever taken you,
significant
has
other.
ever taken you to this? So even the way the question is framed in itself
Yeah.
is like, you cannot take yourself.
Yeah.
You have to be taken by someone
someone.
else.
Yeah.
You get.
Okay.
So there are those things that really need to change.
Okay.
Another thing, property
Okay.
in marriage.
Yes.
That one, the
It's a
way
big you have
it's
handled.
A big, yes,
Okay.
handling it from what I saw. So I
Okay.
usually write a lot about
Yes,
it.
yes.
I saw women, you know, going from they had it all and then 1 minute they don't have
Yes,
anything.
they're flat on the ground.
Yes,
Yeah.
everyone has, the things have been taken away because they obviously belonged to
Yeah.
our brother,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So these are the things that I talk about with passion. So
Yeah.
people reach out on me for that. And right now, more so, they are reaching out because of childhood trauma.
Okay. Yes.
Childhood trauma.
Traumas. Yeah.
We missed most of the childhood trauma because, as I said, where my mom grew up in, it wasn't where you'd find
Yeah.
a lot of, you know, sarcasm. Now
Harsh
that you're
tones.
standing with a boy, umemea matiti unafikiri,
I know. I know.
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You'd not find it at home.
Yeah.
But those ones who found that, they
Yeah.
actually got damaged by it.
Yes. Yes.
And those damages now are the ones we try. We actually take them through a program of healing, so they come to terms with themselves.
Yeah.
You cannot change your parents.
Yeah.
You cannot control them. You cannot change them.
They
but
didn't
you
know
have,
any better
They didn't know
anyway.
any better, yes. But now you have to come to terms with, this is what happened to me, and my feelings are okay.
Yeah.
The feelings I felt at that time and that I still feel about it are okay, but
Yeah.
now I also need to rise above it,
Yeah.
so that I can function.
Okay.
Okay, because many of us actually came from dysfunctional,
Yes.
highly dysfunctional families,
yes.
and that went on to
Yeah. It keeps going on.
generations.
Yeah.
Hurt people hurting others.
Other people. Yeah.
Very hurt mothers hurting their children,
yes.
and their children in turn hurting their children.
Yes.
So I get a lot of that kind of thing
Okay.
in my space where
Okay,
I am at.
okay, okay.
So we are here now telling people you can heal,
Yeah.
And more than healing, you can actually reprogram your mind.
Yes.
All that upbringing programmed your mind in
Yeah.
a certain way,
Yeah.
and made you get some trauma responses. You are either very defensive
Yes.
always,
Yeah.
you are either people pleasing always, because
Yes.
you had to please your mom for survival,
Yeah.
or whoever it was who was
Whatever
caregiving
your
at
guardian
that
was,
point.
yeah.
So now you are at a space where you cannot say no. You cannot say no even to sex.
Yeah.
There are women who would like to say no, but they cannot.
Yep.
So they find themselves, somebody smiled at them, bought them chips or whatever it was. And just because somebody has paid your bus fare,
Yeah.
you feel you
You
must
don't
pay.
owe them.
You must pay in kind.
Yes.
It's inside of you.
Yeah.
So you're actually searching for them. There was this thing that used to happen in campus. Even some women still do it. You go to your boyfriend's house, you have washed his clothes, you have done everything. That the root cause is not feeling enough in
Yeah.
yourself.
Okay.
So you feel you have to overcompensate.
Compensate, yeah.
You have to do so much because you feel this is the person who is loving me.
Yeah.
You're not good enough yourself. So
Okay.
you have to do a lot, just to be accepted.
Okay.
So now those are the things now that we really heal, because it goes a long way.
Okay.
Other people are aggressive
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah.
They are fighting.
Yeah. They're
they're-
not kind to themselves.
they are not even kind to themselves, just because of that kind of
Yeah.
thing. You judge yourself very
confusion, yeah,
harshly. You
yeah.
have no compassion over yourself.
Yeah.
You have no kindness over yourself.
Yeah.
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 Very critical. You cannot even move forward. Yeah, that kind of thing.
So these forums, do you have them online or do you have some physical forums?
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So I have a program
Yeah.
that I take my clients through for a period of 12 weeks.
Okay.
It may be longer than that because
Depending.
Yeah.
Okay.
These are emotional
Generational
issues
things.
and generational things.
Yeah.
It may take longer than 12
Yeah.
weeks, but I hold your hand until the level now where you have transformed.
Okay.
And even past that.
Yeah, where you
okay?
can
Where
take
you
your
can-
baby
yes.
steps. Yeah.
So for now, I am doing my programs online.
Okay.
Online.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Just being curious because a lot of us here in the city, at least we hear 1, 2, 3. I might hear Peris talk about something. But I think, in my opinion, I think your program perfect would, like most serve or would be, like most suitable to, in a village setup, because I think this is where all this, what the great grandmother used to do is what this, the girl born in 2021 is still doing. Do you have maybe future plans for that? Or well, where are you looking at? Give me your
Yes.
your forecast, like 5 years from now.
Okay.
Would you wish to go to the villages? How would you wish to help that woman?
I have wanted to have programs for children
Yeah.
or for teenagers.
Yeah.
So those ones who are just entering university
Yeah.
and those ones who are leaving
Okay.
university.
Okay.
For me, that would those who are entering
Okay.
university
Oh, that would be your preferable.
at that age of entry.
Yeah.
Because we find that these people who are entering university have come from diverse
Yes.
places.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then again living
Yeah.
into the outside world.
Yes.
So there's a kind of grounding
Yes.
that they need there.
Yeah.
I'm living to go where? What
Okay.
am I going
Okay.
to do?
Okay.
So if you're grounded inside yourself, then you are able to do so much more
Yeah.
without giving up.
Yep.
Giving up yourself or your body.
Yeah.
To exchange for
Yeah.
monies and other things.
Yeah.
You are grounded and you'll be able to really stand
Make
up for
an
it.
informed
Make
decision.
informed decisions. Very
Okay.
true. And now those ones who are entering,
All right.
because they are entering from different and they're coming to in a whole new environment.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you find somebody who has double personalities. The
Yeah.
person in university is not the person
So
at
that
home.
that I have witnessed, so I know that is true.
Yeah.
So, like, are you targeting universities? Do you wish to work, in conjunction with, or how are you? Because I think if there is such a need for your service, it is now.
I would really want to work with the parents
Okay, the parents.
of these children.
Yeah.
Yeah. not
the institution.
maybe at some point if that can be arranged.
Yeah.
But my point is your child entering university? Has your
Okay.
child left
Okay.
university or
Okay.
is living in the near future?
All right.
So so create that kind of forums from the parent side of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Peris, because you have had such a unique experience that you know, you have blossomed into this beautiful flower that is also, you know, gathering other flowers. So it's a garden of beautiful flowers that are popping up everywhere.
Yeah.
What is it that you would tell a woman, especially this being a woman's show, what is it that you would tell another woman so that we can also be able to give our children such a unique upbringing that, like you had?
Okay.
Yep.
Every woman should know that they are of value.
Okay.
First, in themselves,
Yeah.
they are of value, regardless of what happened to them.
Okay.
We are not invalidating that,
Okay.
but they are of value. And that is now the value that you also bring up your children with. Because you are of value, you can bring in value to your child.
Okay.
If you don't know you are of value, you won't instill
Yeah.
that kind the feeling of value,
Yeah.
being valued,
Okay.
into your child.
Okay.
And number two, we have come from diverse places and diverse upbringings.
Yes.
You can always go back into yourself and decide to take a journey of healing.
Okay.
When you heal, you become.
Okay.
You know, there is
Okay.
what you are and you didn't like it. So now you become to what you want. You also find your authentic self.
Yeah.
And for those ones that we've gone through coaching, even through the journey,
Yeah.
they find out some things and they're like, hey, now Peris, at least I'm not doing this to my children. I'm not doing this to my children. I'm now becoming, I can, you know, take them as their own individual
Yeah.
people
Okay.
than making them want to be like
Yeah.
be like me.
Yep.
That's the most mistake parents do.
Okay, yeah.
They want to make their children to be like them.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and they don't know the children are of us, but they are not us.
Yes.
You get
Yeah.
it? So
Yep.
they all have their individual parts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So heal from your issues. 90%.
How do I heal? You've said heal.
Yeah.
I have no idea. How do I heal?
Healing.
Yeah, from where
Yeah.
I am, I may not be able to get to Paris, but
Yeah.
maybe while I'm trying to save up,
Yes.
hoping your programs are, I'm sure they are
Very
affordable.
affordable.
So before I'm able to, you know, reach to where I can be able to come and get your
Yes.
professional help, how do I begin to heal from where I am right now?
Okay. The world as it is right now
Yeah.
is global.
Yeah.
The information is out there.
Yeah.
Once you know where you want to be,
Okay.
immerse yourself into searching for knowledge.
Okay.
We say once you're looking for something, the teacher comes to you.
Yep.
The teacher may come to you in form of YouTube,
Yeah.
in form of internet materials,
Yes.
in form of you begin to read
Yeah.
and begin to understand about
Yeah.
your issues.
Yeah.
Why do I shout at my children
Okay.
every day?
Yeah.
And then later feel bad because
Yeah.
I shouted at
At
them.
them, yeah.
And yet it was, you know,
Yep.
why do I do this?
Okay.
So once you know where it came from, and then now you are able to regulate your emotions.
Yeah.
Also, you'll also be able to read about that.
Okay.
How can I regulate this? How can I regulate that?
Okay.
Okay. Then most of these things can be found. There are people who've been able to go through the journey themselves,
Okay.
just through their own searching,
Yep.
their own reading.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
But for many other people, they are not. They
Able to
need
do, yeah.
support, and they need a coach
Yep.
or somebody who is going to help them. Because when I come in as your coach, I'm also your accountability
Yes.
partner.
Yeah.
I'm also somebody now, your journey mate.
Yeah.
I hold you through
Yeah.
your journey,
Okay.
as well as guide you
Okay.
the steps. You
Okay.
are the one who is doing the job.
Yes.
I'm not. You know,
I'm
it's
just
your
here as your
emotional
supposed,
work.
Yeah.
So
I'm
I
just your
show you
support
these
system.
are the areas.
Yeah.
Please look.
Yeah.
You know, then I
You
show
don't
you
do
what
the
to
work
do.
for me.
Yes.
Okay.
And after you heal, another way I also support you. I
Yeah.
help you to rewire your mind,
Yeah.
to reprogram it, because there are those programs
Yeah.
that control 90% of you,
Okay.
of every day that you do, of everything that you do,
Yeah.
and they come from your upbringing.
Okay.
So if your upbringing was negative,
Yeah. The toxic patterns
yes,
still continue.
you'll always find yourself in
Yeah.
those in those patterns
Okay.
unless you
Yeah.
you now reprogram yourself from that.
Okay.
So I help you to really rewire your mind.
Yep.
And those people who have had that, they have become new. They tell me, Peris, I feel I am born again. Ni kama
Wow.
I feel like a newborn.
That's actually the real born again.
Yes.
Yeah, so as we've already come to, well, I hate this that we are coming to the conclusion of this, but should someone want to reach you and, you know, to get your help, someone wants to have you hold their hand to walk through this journey, how do we reach you? Where can we get you?
You can reach me on the social media.
Yes.
Peris Wambugu. Just type Peris Wambugu. You will find me.
Or where
find me there.
Is this on Facebook, on Instagram? Or?
And also Instagram.
Okay.
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 Those two. And then, I can always give my number.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you wish to, you can go.
I don't have a problem.
Okay.
I am on 07 00 030 136.
Okay, say that again.
07 00 030 136.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Wow.
that's how we are.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Peris.
Thank you.
Like, you know, we cannot finish this here. And that's why we need to go and look for Peris from her socials, because she is willing, she is more than ready to help us heal ourselves. She's more than ready to impart this, you know, this thing that she had growing up and wants almost every one of us to have, so we can tap into that. And well, we've just come to the end of the show, and I would like to say thank you so much for having being with us from, you know, when we began until now. And as I like to say, thank you so very much for your support. It makes every single difference. We cannot be without, you know, having your support. And kindly, if you haven't subscribed already, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jicho TV Kenya. Find us on Facebook at Jicho TV Kenya, our Instagram at Jicho TV Kenya. And that's the end. And so from us to you, it's Namaste.